So with Disney Plus, obviously there's Mandalorian, there's plenty more Marvel Studios content coming at us. So what's up with the delays, expected timetable, and all that? Because things are obviously looking a little different for the future, I would say. Let's just put it like that.
Right. Well, they had that investors earnings call, whatever you want to call it, a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, recently.
My time frame is that Marvel timescale now. I have no idea if it was 5 or 15 years ago. It could be whatever it is. It's both at the same time. But in that, Bob Chapek, or Chapek, however you want to pronounce his damn name, said The Mandalorian it finished filming right before, it's being edited on, it's not going to have a delay. So that's still going to come out when it was going to come out, which kind of shows that they're still clearly working on these shows. And they also said that post-production, like VFX stuff, is still happening.
Good.
Which, we've heard that WandaVision is like 98% complete. So they're obviously working on everything. They've said it themselves. So the question is, it's like, well, what's going to... do we switch around shows? Because they've got to do something with these.
They do. It puts them in an interesting position, right? Because every single service that's coming out, like HBO Max is launching, but even they had to be like, well, projects that would have been in development by now, those ain't happening. So, like, HBO Max is going to be more barren than anything out there because they literally have nothing. Like, they have Doom Patrol Season 2 and a couple other things, and that's really it. So, everybody's going to be looking at that interesting lack of content, period. And, yeah, do you shift things around? Do you, like, jump around with releases of episodes? It's interesting. It really puts them in an interesting position that everybody's like, well, I mean, what's the first year of Disney Plus going to look like with this whole thing happening? Like
I say, because they could easily salvage it. I know. I can't remember his name. Do you play Winter Soldier?
Sebastian Stan.
That's the one. He said, like, despite saying don't quote me on this, and then everyone quoting him on it, that he thinks that they had 2 to 3 weeks left to film it.
Yeah.
For Falcon and Winter Soldier. We don't know what that was. I know some people are really pushing the idea that it's a massive amount. It was all really important stuff. And it's like, I can't imagine that to be.
It sounded like their last 2 weeks were going to be in the Czech Republic. That's what it seems to be lining up with. And, if that's true, okay, Czech Republic can be used as a double for many other countries, which is what they do, So, again, we don't know the extent of it, but there is the possibility where they could, or there's also the possibility where they could use, as it's been suggested, go use that Mandalorian tech and shoot with smaller crews and play around with your, strengths and finish shooting it on a big old stage that can in real time render backgrounds. And again, this is kind of the wave of the future, so I'm willing to believe, we're still going to get these shows somewhat on time. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Falcon and Winter Soldier gets bumped back like a month, and that's it. Like, September.
I say, because like, let's just say it comes out the original date. That means this whole rumor about them rewriting plot isn't true.
Yep.
Because there's the rumor that it's involving Mad Bum or some kind of epidemic or pandemic. And obviously, very unfortunate time if it was true. But then if that's the case, that's not going to happen.
Also, that rumor comes from the fact that Mad Bomb was going to be the plot to the third Cap movie anyway. So they were trying to recycle that. And it's like, again, we don't know how true that is. And, it could be a thing. But then again, fine. It is what it is. Mad Bomb was a thing in the comics. So, and if they're going to have to reshoot an entire thing, that would mean restructuring the entire series.
Exactly. That's why I never believed it. You can't just rewrite an episode, a plot point like that without doing the entire show, and they're not going to redo the entire show. That was never a question, and I thought anyone believing that thing was
it's unbelievable to say the least. Like, and again, if fine, let's say it is the Mad Bomb thing. Okay, detonation, New York, zombie people, riots. Okay, whatever. I get the plot. I get it. They're kind of attacking each other. Fine. Well, I get it. You can draw some of the parallels. Oh no. What? Come on. Like, are you really gonna dig into it that deep? Like,
it's no different to when the Punisher was supposed to come out and they delayed it because there was a shooting in America.
Exactly.
They didn't just suddenly go, "Oh, we're gonna have to rewrite this." It's like, no, you delay it slightly, you then put it out because you can't change it. You're not no one's gonna spend that amount of money to rewrite. You've got to pay the script writers. You then got to redo all the contracts and everything. It's a hassle. It's too much. Mm-hmm. It was never gonna happen, but and that's if it even was in there. We don't know if it's Mad Bum or not.
Exactly.
It could be anything at this point.
But
yeah.
And with that in mind, I mean, you also look at Star Wars, right? What's up with Star Wars? Because they have I want to say at least 78 TV shows in development on Disney Plus. At least that I might be lowballing that one. I'm not sure, but legit, they were supposed to start production of 4 TV shows. So what's up with Star Wars now? What?
We don't know. Luckily for Star Wars, it's kind of worked in their favor because the whole Cassian Andor and Kenobi series were getting rewritten anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's only a good thing for that. Everything else, who knows? I don't even think they know at this point.
No, honestly, it sounds like nobody's really aware of what's happening. And
I think the only thing that's safe to say is WandaVision is in a good spot. It doesn't, if it is 90% finished, which it sounded like it is, then cool, great. Yeah. We can get that early, or we can get that in the same time frame. That's great. Cap, Winter Soldier, and Falcon, maybe it can come out and they're reshuffling things around and working what they have. Cool. It could come out whenever. And Mandalorian was finished. Cool. It's going to come out in the same spot. This year, I think it's probably safe.
And that's the thing. This year you're safe. Mandalorian is still going to come out around the same time period. So late November, December, we're getting Mando Season 2. And the good thing is, by the time they're back into production, they'll be right on track to release Mando Season 3 for the same time frame next year. So it sounds like they're in a
hopefully.
Yeah, it sounds like they're on a good roll with at least Mandalorian. But when you look at the other ones, Obi-Wan, Cassian Andor, whatever the other series in development is, because they haven't really specified what it's going to be. It's just something new with a female lead.
I'm pretty certain it's safe to say it's both Ahsoka, or how you pronounce her name, and Afra.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say it's those two.
Yeah, and I mean, Mandalorian, they said Season 2 and 3 are going to lead into spin-offs because they believe there's strength to these characters. So, honestly, it's probably looking like the next 2 years of Star Wars is going to be just Mando keeping the TV series, and then suddenly come 2.5, 3 years from now, we're literally going to be doing 2 to 3 series a year, which is...
Yeah,
that's a good output considering a new trilogy is going to start and all that.
And it's also rumored that Mando Season 2 sets up the next cartoon, which you can work from a cartoon at any time, at any point. So that's going to be on track. Yeah. It's purely the live action ones. We know Hawkeye's supposed to start soon. Same with Miss Marvel and all that. Hawkeye's still got to cast his other Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to do that right now. You could still do it, but it's a bit like, But it's an interesting spot. I don't know how many delays. I can't imagine it being that long, really.
Yeah. No, I think
there's going to be a period where it's be like, it's a bit barren. But
I'm gonna say something that a lot of people have kind of echoed, but in a negative light. But I'm echoing it in a positive light. The best thing happening to Star Wars is the fact everything is not moving forward right now at once. Because
I absolutely agree.
They got assessment time, and they got time to really refine everything and get back on footing, and hopefully, win back every, version of the fans besides a minority. Because, I will say, because I've seen it, yes, there's a split fan base with the last 2 core films. Again, it is what it is. I know people that absolutely love them. I know people that hate them. I know people that also love the prequels, that hate the prequels. Same with the originals, because everybody has their own generation. The best thing happening to Star Wars right now is nothing is happening besides Mando, and then suddenly in a span of a year they'll have multiple new TV series and a Taika film and possibly another trilogy starting, so we don't know if that's Taika's thing. It sounds like Star Wars is honestly in a great position with these delays because they got time to come back and win everybody over with like almost a soft reboot in quotation marks, like soft reboot the plan for Star Wars, and that really excites me.
Yeah. Or you could say like a reinvention of what Star Wars is and can be.
Right.
Because that's kind of what Mando did anyway. But I know people are kind of expecting WandaVision to get pushed back because of its Doctor Strange 2 connection. And I can understand why. Yeah. But at the same time, why would you? Why would you sit on a show when you have a potential drought of content?
Yep.
That's done. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like it's only a plot point. You know, we had Loki in Asgard for how many years before we got anything on that? And even then, it was kind of cool. Yeah, he's done with that. No, we're just going to completely glaze over it. Like,
right.
You know, we spent 10 years building up 2 Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how far. You know, it's not like you're going to struggle to rewatch it because it's going to be right there.
Exactly. And at the same time, you know, you mentioned that. It's like I'm looking at the whole other thing of Mando and Star Wars as well. Like in the same light, there's rumors that they're possibly setting up something Boba Fett spin-off for Mando.
Oh, please, no.
And I'm just like, dude, that would take Mando complete. Like, no, look at it. Why? I don't know.
It would feel really redundant.
Oh,
it's like, well, the it would be kind of funny because the Mandalorian was the Boba Fett movie and then became arguably the better product because who cares about Boba Fett?
Yep. Yep.
And it's like, let's bring in Boba Fett to what should have been his movie in the first place to spin them out. It's like,
yeah.
Just kill Boba Fett again. Double tap.
I mean, you say that and someone put Jango Fett, you know.
Yeah, well, that's just a funny mistake.
Well, that's
like, technically it's not wrong.
Yeah,
in a
technically,
way,
yeah.
Like unless they were going for that, he had the better looking armor, I guess.
I think that's probably what it was. It's more
True.
to make it look in line with what Mando has himself, but
yeah.
It's whatever. It was funny. Like, it's either a mistake or an intentional like joke, but it was funny either way.
Truth.